and welcome back to another video of the F1 2021 Driver Career Mode with Williams, episode number 3 today for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. If you missed the previous video, Monaco, which was painful, then I recommend go and check them out as well. First episode as well, Bahrain, just get an idea of the start of the series, and of course subscribe to see plenty more episodes of this series as and when they come out. Next video should be on Monday, and back to a more normal weekly schedule for this channel. But anyway, looking at some upgrades, I noticed that I did say in the last video that I can't tell the upgrades, and it does say when you purchase them that they're minor, but I do feel that I'm somebody with a visual memory, so just seeing them in blocks at the same time, it doesn't mean anything. So it's not the design of the user interfaces here with the R&D points isn't really what I'm not a fan of it. Basically, I did prefer the tree because you could plan your R&D upgrades. It's a lot tougher on this game, but Max has told us that some of them have come through, so yes, we'll look to get that as many upgrades on the car as soon as possible. But R&D points, it's a lot harder to get R&D points, and we're still behind Haas, but we are closing in. Alfa Romeo haven't bought any upgrades, and we never know what's going to happen at Baku anyway. Neither Red Bull or Mercedes have bought upgrades. Again, hopefully at some point there's going to be a patch coming to sort out the performance, because as we know, Mercedes and Red Bull are not that far apart even on the base games. And Haas shouldn't be that high either. So hopefully that is going to be incoming to at some point. But moving to qualifying then, and we'll see what we can do here. Qualifying so far hasn't been great at Bahrain or at Monaco. Monaco we actually qualified last, and it's here at Azerbaijan, it's business as usual, it's last place. Yes, Russell is only 19th, so Mr. Saturday hasn't got himself up and running in this career mode yet. Will he? Because remember how it's just the third time we've been teammates with him now. He does improve to 18th, but I think that's his final lap. I think Mazepin's on another lap in his little bit of cardboard, as we're improving slightly through the first sector. The middle sector, I did look on the first, we're faster than the AI on the middle section. You see through the castle section we've gained half a second almost of time, so clearly he didn't have a good run. He felt okay on the first run, but clearly it's not been okay. It was got more time to find there, half a tenth up. As we're looking at our teammate, I don't really look at the AI, but he's on his way back to the pits, and he's going slowly coming out of the final section. Max Verstappen, I think that is, in the Red Bull goes past, so that's the yellow flags behind us. We've come at almost a 7/10 improvement, and it's only enough. I think that was P18. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you straight away anymore, so you have to wait for the gameplay to fade, and there we go. And then we have to click past Lewis Hamilton's face, and you can see already the user interface does need a little bit of improvement, I feel. But Ricciardo and Norris, very good qualifying for the two McLarens to be up in 3rd and 4th. We're looking to make it up, see what we can do. 18th on the grid, it's our best qualifying so far. Let's see, time for the race.
A warm welcome to all of you watching at home to today's Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and a race that in its short history has already proven no stranger to drama. A 4th row start is just about as likely to give you a podium as a pole position would. And remember, in 2017 and 2018, both Lance Stroll and then Sergio Perez took surprise podiums here. The Baku city circuit measures roughly 6 kilometers and is made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town, and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to catastrophic consequences for all of our drivers. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are three main things to worry about there, Crofty. Positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Norris, Max Verstappen and Leclerc, Perez, Sainz, Vettel and Lance Stroll, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda and Ocon, Raikkonen, Mick Schumacher, Antonio Giovinazzi, a Williams, Mazepin and George Russell ends our grid lineup. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
So here we are on the grid. Race strategy again. Jeff, what have you been smoking, mate? We're not doing that bottom strategy. It's going to be a one stop from soft to mediums, of course. 25% race. We'll see what we can do from 18th on the grid. 5 red lights and away we go. And it's an okay start. We get ahead of Giovinazzi, as to be expected, but then down the inside of a whole load of cars, down the inside of the Alpines. I think the Alpines once again are starting on the medium tyres a bit more, dying down the inside turn 2, and move up into P11 ahead of Vettel and Tsunoda. So we've made a good start. The brakes, partially due to the brakes, we have another dive bomb here on Gasly and then Stroll. Again, I'm planning the overtakes on one car. I planned the overtake there on Gasly, but I didn't really want to get Stroll. I wanted, obviously it's a bonus that we got Stroll, managed to get Stroll, but again, it's not really planned really. So I might need a brakes upgrade at some point as well, just to help with it. But also needs might be a little bit of strategy as we look at our as well. Stroll is being now overtaken by Gasly, and Stroll into that right hand wall there that he crashed in real life. And Stroll, just like Verstappen did at Monaco, even though he's got no front wing damage that I can visibly see, he's coming into the pits anyway for a new front wing. Again, this new damage model, I'm running simulation damage, I should point out, so it's early days for this new damage model, but there's clearly some issues with the AI on their front wings as Gasly goes through with DRS, and we're not going to be able to dive bomb him back. No, we can't. So we're going to have to set him up here for the run down to turn 3. Remember, we'll now have DRS, so Gasly does not have DRS as he's not in 1 second of sight. He's going defensive already. Do we go to the... He's going to go defensive. We're going to go to the outside and make the move, retake back P9. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just check that Gasly didn't get squeezed off. No, he did take he was tight to the wall there, Gasly, but no damage. He's able to carry on as they're all now stacking up the road behind Lando Norris, who's up in 4th place. Obviously, we know the Lando that we know in game is very different to the Lando that we know in real life, of course, because Ricciardo, of course, his teammate, is actually ahead of him and is sticking to the Mercedes. And if you were to say a real life comparison as the tyre wear, for me, is getting a little bit high. 31% on the rear right after 4 laps, and Gasly's coming back now for another round. I think Vettel, one of the Alpines as well. So I think we're going to undercut. We're going to undercut. We're going to come in a lap early. It's only a 25% race, so start pitting a lap early doesn't really do that. Perez and Leclerc are already in, so sorry, Verstappen and Leclerc, excuse me, are in. So we're going to come in as well. We're going to have clear air, unlike Leclerc and Verstappen, who will be on the back of those team cars, and we move up positions now. And we're going to be, and the undercut has actually worked a treat because we're coming out ahead of Gasly, a little bit closer to, we're about the same we were to Sainz. But yes, what I was saying is that obviously in real life we'd expect Norris to be ahead of Ricciardo. In the game it's the other way around, as George Russell has been overtaken. He's not had a very good race. I don't know if he's still got that engine issue from the qualifying, and he slowed up Sainz, an absolute treat for us as well. Sainz goes around the outside at the corner where Stroll got his front wing damage, or allegedly front wing damage, and then of course this allows us, George, he does the teammately thing and gets out the way. Fortunately, he can't keep Gasly behind. That's the only thing. Gasly goes around the outside, but he does keep Vettel behind as well. So we'll look to get Sainz though. Now Sainz is just going to be a sitting duck now in a straight line, and we're going to have him here. This is going to be an absolute ease of an overtake here, and we're just going to move to the outside. Thank you very much, and move up into what is P8 actually. Because I think some people have actually made an additional pit stop, including Carlos Sainz, who's making an additional pit stop. He's having a front wing change now as well. Another couple of people having front wing changes during this race. This was earlier. Max Verstappen has had another front wing change for that overtake with contact with Russell as he was trying to get past. This was slightly early in the race, and also in for a front wing is Mick Schumacher at the same corner that the others. Just grazes that wing, and that's enough. And you can see there 7 of the 9 front wings at this moment in time. Russell also having a front wing, as well as Schumacher as well. So that's really bad as well. Mazitwat also having a front wing change. Just because as well, so that's really bad, the amount of front wings that we've had in this episode, and that's only 7 of the 9, I should point out, from the title, because we've got a couple more. Lap 7, Gasly and Vettel, the pace has been terrible. We're not really catching up to Perez or Ricciardo. Ricciardo's sort of starting to fall back. Typical Ricciardo AI in there. There's Gasly's now round. Tried to go 3 wide with Vettel, and myself. I gave him as much room as I possibly could. He takes the curbing, taps our front end, excuse me, and well, that, you never guess what, Gasly comes in to have a front wing change. As well, as we take a look quickly at our race leaders, the 2 Alpines have been dodging all the carnage further down the pits, but now Alonso's going to be coming in. Fortunately, he's coming out ahead of us, so the 2 Alpines have jumped us in the pits. Vettel though came back, did a Gasly with DRS, as again we're sort of a sitting duck in a straight line. I tried to come back at Vettel down to turn 3, but unfortunately with Vettel he got DRS on Alonso, so that's really frustrating. We're unable to make the position, and now Tsunoda, we have a change of tack here. We defend the outside this time, and it actually worked. So maybe that was in hindsight, we should have defended the outside. We're going to have a go at Ocon here as well. We might as well. He's coming out on the outside. He takes the curbing, and that's going to give us the better traction out of turn 2 towards turn 3, and we're going to have DRS off Ocon. He's, to be fair, he's slipping in a straight line, that Alpine, which is more than what can be said. But down the inside, we're going to have down to turn 3. We're going to. I think Ocon has lost his front wing. Get a replay on board with Ocon. He's not yielding. It should really be yielding at this point, and he just partly drives into the wall and loses his front wing. And this time, that's the final straw for the FIA. The safety car makes its first appearance in this series, and it's going to present us with an opportunity to gain some more positions. Definitely Baku being one that the AI aren't very good at making starts at, and as a result Hamilton tries to take it down as the front line, and we're going to have a look at Vettel. I'm actually under braking again. The brakes not the best, so we're just going to dive down the inside Alonso as well. So making the best of the safety car Alonso on soft tyres. Vettel and will come at Alonso as well down to turn 2, but I think Alonso is going to squeeze his old arch nemesis to the inside and retain the position, allow Tsunoda to get in front of Alonso as we're coming through rear end switch. We're going to bang tyres with Alonso coming out of there, but now it's a straight line between the Mercedes and the Renault powertrain. Apparently we've got damage according to Jeff there, even though it's not showing up on the heads-up display. So again, I don't know if that's a glitch or something where it's not showing up properly, but I don't know if it's just something to the tyre, which has increased the tyre wear or something, but it definitely feels like we have a little bit of damage as well there, as Tsunoda has a look at us on the final lap up to that corner where I'm never very good at, and that actually forces out Vettel, allows Vettel to get back in front of Alonso. So yes, but for us then, I think we've been lucky. We've been lucky because considering the bank, there's been 9 front wing changes by the AI. We were a sitting duck. Yes, a couple of them we were involved in with Gasly and Ocon, but overall it was a good drive. We made good places up on the start, and I will definitely take P6 because we need all the points we can get in this series. For Hamilton now, has won 2 races in a row ahead of Bottas. Mercedes are walking away with it, unlike in real life. Verstappen, P14, his championship might be over already, and we've only had 3 races as well. He's actually behind me in the championship, which is saying something because we're just here for the vibes. We're just really we're not really in for it. I mean, we're not really thinking about going for positions. In terms of the constructors, George Russell had a bad time of it, so obviously he needs to improve, but his focus isn't that great.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
We got lucky today, so yes.
It looks like you've invested heavily in the development of new parts.
Well, yes, we're trying to drag this car up into the midfield, really. Try and be a consistent point scorer. Maybe ahead Alpine and Aston Martin. I'll be happy if we get in front of them, really, at the end of the season.
Great. Well, that's everything.
So yes, driver acclaim will move up to level 5 now. So obviously overdriving the car a little bit. Wouldn't really be aiming for P6 really. I know that Baku is a good track for me. Will be probably brought round to earth at some of the other tracks. Canada will be coming Monday. Then France, I don't know. Austria as well isn't unknown for me as well, because of what happened in that final season, the 2020 driver career. I didn't have a great time of it. But yes, if you have enjoyed anyway, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for news, see plenty more episodes of the F1 2021 driver career. Until the next video, us next time, take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.